rinse those off. And this is the onion we bought for it, correct? Over here for now. I need you, and I need you to start getting hot. Okay. All right. Hey everybody. Today we are going to be making Kinder's beef stew. All right. Instructions. This is for a slow cooker or an Instant Pot, but we're just doing it traditional way. On top of the stove, and we're gonna cook it that way, slow. All right, it says 1.5 pounds of beef or chuck roast cut into 1-inch cubes and coat with 2 tablespoons of flour. Add the beef, and then you add the 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 1.5 cups of beef stock, and potatoes and carrots, or whatever you like for your vegetables. And then we're gonna bust a move. All right, I do need to find my flour, but this is something that I've always done. Very little. It's probably about a tablespoon. Is I brown up the meat first. Oh, let me find my flour. Oh. Well, all right. All right. All right. So, I want this to get hot. As you can see, there's very little oil in it. Now, this is a double weighted pot. It's stainless steel, so it's gonna get hot and it's gonna stay hot. All right, so let's get all this stuff ready. Baby's gotta wash the, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the beef in the pan. We're gonna get it brown, then I'm gonna add a little bit of flour to it. And what the flour does is as it's cooking, it thickens it up. A lot of people don't know that, but that's what the whole thing for the flour is for. It's to thicken up the stew so it's not running. It's not like water. And no, y'all, this is not sunburn on my face. We just come in from mowing the yards. So if anyone's wondering. All right. Now with me, I've got baby carrots, so I am going to be using my baby carrots. All right, let me get me a paper towel so I can put my little baby carrots on it. All right. Baby is cooking. Literally, I'm cooking. Another thing is if you find or you buy the stew meat already cut up and you see these little chunks of fat, don't throw it out. That fat's what's also going to help season your stew. All right? All right. And if it's still a little frozen like it is here, it's a-okay. It doesn't have to be completely thawed. We're just going to put it in there and let it sear. There we go. Because as it's searing, it's going to thaw out the rest of the meat. Well, I need my light on so I can see what I'm bloody doing. Alright. Let that go. And if it sticks to the bottom of the pan a little bit, it's a-okay. Once you start putting in the beef broth, the water, the tomato paste, it's going to be fine. It's not going to stick. Alright. That's going. I'm going to let that finish searing and thawing out the meat. And while that is doing that, BB's going to get her onion cut. Let me get all this crap up out of my way. There's that. Here we go. This way I'm not walking back and forth to the trash can 1,000 times. Maybe. Alright. Well, hell's bells. Now with these, I make these a little bit wider and chunkier because onions will disintegrate basically. Alright, here we go. And can you see the water already in there? Alright, baby's going to put in the other half. I'm feeling froggy today. That, my friend, was almost my finger. Because my glasses are slipping off my nose. I look like an old grandma now. Alright, here we go. Alright, I want that to sear up a little bit more. So while that is doing that, I'm going to throw this away. Alright, that's that. I'm going to wash my potatoes. These will not be filled because these are red potatoes. You choose whatever kind of potatoes you like. But I love red potatoes in stews and roast. Okay. And I like my potatoes a little chunky. Some people do, some people don't. And that's A-okay. You can also cut it like that, cut it like this. Get it done a little bit faster. Well, I missed that one altogether. All right, here we go. We're getting there. Now, with your vegetables, if you are not a vegetable kind of person, you don't have to put a lot of vegetables in. Normally, if I would have celery, I would also cut some of that up because celery brings a good flavor into your stews and your roast. But I don't have that today, so. And that's not calling for it. Again, everyone makes their beef stews and roasts completely different than somebody else. There is no right or wrong way to do it. It's all on your preference. Cooking is your preferences. There we go. One last potato. All right, my wrist is saying thank you. All right. Let's go check this meat again. There we go. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, because most of it is kind of thawed out, it's not sticking to everything. All right, so let me get my measuring spoons. All right, so this is all you're gonna do. It called for 2, but I have 2 pounds of meat, so we're going to do 3. Now with this, also, when it's about done and it's not to your liking, the thickness, you can always add a little bit more flour to it and make it as thick as you want. Yeah, you can shut that off now. So this is what we're gonna do. This is all you do. You just kind of mix it in there. All right. There we go. And we gotta get the measuring cup. All right, anytime something asks you to put in tomato paste or anything thick like this, and this is what? One tablespoon, okay. This is what I do. Okay. Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Doo. All right. took his leave. All right, so this is a half a tablespoon. So we already know we got to do 2 of these, okay? Now with this, you're going to take some hot water. Get your water hot. While that's getting hot, I'm going to come back over here and check on this. I want to make sure nothing is really sticking to my pan. And as you can see, the meat is not completely cooked. There's still some raw meat in there, which is fine. You can do it 1 or 2 ways. You can either use a whisk or a spoon. To get it dissolved. There's that. Now we're going to add our beef stock chicken. What the heck? I've been out in the heat too long. Okay. We're going to do 2 cups. There's that. I dropped a tater. Apparently I dropped a couple taters. Oh shit. Alright, now there we go. Now we are going to turn this down to 4. We are going to put the lid on it and we're going to let it start cooking. Add another cup of water just for poops and giggles. All right, so what do I do with my lid? Oh, there it is. All right. Actually, let's bring this to a rolling boil for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to turn it down. All right, so let's get this good and hot. And while that's getting good and hot, I'm gonna go clean up my mess. All right, guys, we got her to a rolling boil. Stir it. Cut it down to low. So if you have an electric stove, you have a gas stove, put it on low. If you have an electric stove, you're going to put it between 4 and 2. And now this is going to cook like that for about 2 hours. But you still have to keep checking it. All right. Okay. It's getting there. But it's only been 30 minutes, so. Like I said, you still have to come back and stir it every once in a while. And we're just gonna let it go. But I wanted you to see what it looked like in 30 minutes. Okay. It's been an hour. Carrots are nice and soft. Let's check a piece of meat. Meat is soft. Just the way it's supposed to be. All right. We're actually gonna turn that all the way down to as low as it can go. And then cameraman's gonna make some rice. Perfect.
Alrighty, BB. Already getting the pot warmed up. Oops. That one's with the hole in it. It might be a little bit too much, but that's sofrito you put to what your flavor is. And every time I make my rice, I always make it with different seasonings. Alrighty. Get some adobo. And then put a little bit of salt this time. Alrighty, what?
BB needs some Gatorade.
You do.
I do.
I'm trying to get this up a little bit so it can get to frying. Want some olives?
Sure.
Get some of that sazon.
Get some of that Gatorade.
Tomate. Again, everything is to your taste.
Thank you.
Give me that achota oil back there, please.
Right there it is.
And instead of using ham, this time I'm gonna use the beef flavor. Again, it's to your taste. Now I'm gonna use some achota oil.
Looks like we're gonna have to mix more of that up.
Yes, it does. All right, waiting for that to come to a simmer. So that cooks the seasoning in.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I use ham, but today I'm going to use beef.
We're having beef too.
Well, it just all depends what you flavor. There it goes. Some people put tomato sauce. I don't feel like putting tomato sauce today. That's what that tomato seasoning. That's gotta get piping hot. And I'm using the small one that we use because this makes 1 cup of rice in here perfectly. There we go. That sucker's gonna get nice and caramely. Someone's telling me. Now the rice it's a small grain, but I already rinsed it underneath the water. Put the stove on high. And then if you want mushy rice, you put more water than this. If you want the rice to, what's it called when the rice is not mushy? But if you ever make rice and you notice that it's mushy, it's because you're using too much water. Some days we like mushy rice, but not this one because we want the gravy from the beef stew to absorb it. Alright, now we sit here and wait for it to boil. Alrighty, baby, getting it to boil now. Well, unless you want some pegao on the bottom, you keep it moving until this water literally goes down to nothing. And then for 15 minutes after that, you let it steam itself. And this rice should be fluffy. Hopefully I didn't put in too much water in it. There it goes, BB. Now, get this turned around. Put this on low. Very low. Then I put the aluminum on it. Seal her up. There you go. Again, just make sure that sucker is on low and just let it cook for like that for like 15 minutes. And then hopefully that should be done.
Alright, everything is done. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go. That looks so good. Here we go. All right, so there you have it. You've got yellow rice, got beef stew, and I will say one thing, it smells wonderful. All right, guys. Now with the Kinders, the only thing different that they use that I don't use is tomato paste. I use the beef broth, the same seasoning. So therefore it just, for me, it just tastes like regular beef stew. Because you're putting your own onions, your own potatoes, you're putting your other stuff in there. But I will give it this. Sometimes when you buy beef stew seasoning, it's very, very, very salty. And this is not. This is perfect. So give the Kinders a try and see what you think. And until the next video, everybody take care. Take care of one another. Take care of yourselves. Bon appetit. See ya.